Hello, I'm Laura Rogers, and this is Power Hour. Today's concept is how to use the new Updates app in Microsoft Teams. It allows you to collect updates, say weekly or daily, from your team members and displays the results in a nice little graphic dashboard. Let's get started. All right, so again, I'm Laura Rogers. Power Hour is a show I've been doing for almost 12 years. Wednesdays at 11 Central, we have a live chat going on. We use Microsoft Teams, of course, for our chat. And if you've never joined before, there's a button to request to join below wherever you are watching this video. And then we manually invite each person to come join us in Teams. You get an invite, etc. So we're all chatting. You get to join the general channel in the Power Hour team. And I have a tab for today. It says 4:30. So that's where we're having our chat. And I love doing this live. It's fun. You never know what's going to happen. We get this lively discussion going on. So, hey, Laura. Hey, Robin. Hey, Annette. Scott. So it's fun seeing everybody and just kind of like interactively discussing whatever the demo is. So today's demo, this app is in Microsoft Teams. Everybody has access to it. So if you remember in the past, we did a demo of there is an approvals app in Teams, and the approvals app has Microsoft Forms built into it to run just like very simple forms through approval processes. And it's all just built into Teams, and it kind of uses that built-in approvals action. And it just has kind of its own little flow that it runs behind the scenes. Well, this is similar in the way that it actually also uses Microsoft Forms technology as part of the solution. So the idea is that you, as the boss, you can request updates from your team members, and you can tell it if you want it to be periodic, and it will send out little pop-ups, little Teams notifications to the members that you request it from. You can even request it from a group of people, and then they are prompted to fill in their update in a nice little form and submit it to you. And then the cool thing about this compared to just having a regular old form is that you get a nice little dashboard, and your dashboard has little sort of graphs and charts of who answered what to what questions, and it's got templates. So let's go ahead and dig in. I'll share my screen. Okay, so first of all, this is where we are in Teams. We are in the general channel, and we're on today's date, 4:30. So if you're chatting, this is where you go. You don't even have to be request every time we have Power Hour. All you have to do is click your name at the top right in Microsoft Teams, and you'll be able to switch over to the IW Mentor Power Hour tenant. IW Mentor is the company I started. It's an online training company, and so I just call it IW Mentor Power Hour. So all you do is switch over to it, and then you'll be here in Teams with us. So that's where we are. That's where we're chatting. I'll move that over here. And then we have Teams. So I have the Updates app open. So when you go to your list of apps over on the left side, then that's where you're going to see updates. So see, you can just search for updates right here. And then you can add it, you can right click to pin it to the left side. So I have updates here, and I pinned it. And so now this is the welcome screen for the Updates app. So let's talk about what we're seeing here, getting around and kind of getting used to it. Now this whole big colorful section at the top is really just sort of letting you know what updates is all about. You could actually close this kind of once you get familiar with it. You don't need to see this whole big thing taking up real estate at the top. But the first thing to kind of think about or decide when you're getting started with updates is what kind of template do we want to use. So if I use collect updates, that's going to be presenting me with a list of templates. Now, if I just say quick update, that is just a very, very simple form that just has like 2 fields. And so that's just the most simple way that you can use updates. I'm not going to do that one. I'm going to close that. and go to the home page. So that little home page, it was sort of a little breadcrumb at the top to get back to the home page. So collect updates is where you're going to get to see all the templates. So the templates are really just, they have questions in them. Now you don't have to use a template. So really this is just a Microsoft form. So whatever you pick, it is a pre-built Microsoft form, similar to that approvals app that we talked about in another Power Hour. But if you can start from blank, if you just have your own questions you want to ask. I'm going to go ahead and explore the templates for a minute. So weekly update, that's probably going to be the most common one. You can preview each of these as well. So let's take a look at what the weekly update is. What does it do? So it's going to show me, for each of these, it will have its own little dashboard. It's going to show me all the information about what's going on with the submissions, and if people need any help, how many people have submitted their updates. And then here's what the form looks like. So this is what it's actually sending to the people. It asks for their overall status. What have you done this week? They can use the little bullet points. It's just a big text box, like a rich text box. And then you have what's the plan for next week? Do you need any help? This looks exactly like back when I used to have a boss. This looks exactly like what we had to send to her every week and fill out our weekly updates of what we were doing. So it's a very familiar concept. I know a lot of you probably raise your hand or say in the chat if you have to fill out weekly updates for your boss. So that's what the weekly update form looks like. Let's just explore a few of these other ones. This is monthly goal tracking. So that's going to, let's just see what the form looks like. What were your goals? What progress has been made? How satisfied are you with your progress? So the more things that you have that are multiple choice in your form, you're going to have more sort of metrics that it shows on your dashboard. So and this shows what it looks like when people submit their forms. You'll be able to toggle between, it's got all these little fake people here. You'll be able to toggle between them to see. And then if you want to use this template, you can click try for my team. So I've got project progress. Let's look at that one. It's got project name, status, key updates. Is there anything blocking? If so, do you need additional support? So this is going to be perfect for projects. I mean, we're all working on projects, right? So this is a great, just easy way. So what it does, let's go ahead and try one of these. I'll do daily well-being. That's funny. That might be too TMI, I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and try this one. And so what it presents you with when you decide to actually use one of these templates is it shows you on the left side what the form looks like. And again, this is just a Microsoft form. So you can add your own questions to it. So this is for you to adjust if you'd like. And you can change all the settings just like you would if you were editing a Microsoft form. And then you have, these are the settings that are specific to this update solution. Who needs to submit this request? And you can say, either you want to put specific people's names here. So I'll just say Joelle, Poppy. And you can put all the people's names, or you can just say the name of a team. So it'll have like IW Mentor team. So if you have a team of people, you can just put that in here. You don't have to go enter every single individual's name in here. Or, so you could either do this, or you can toggle over to people in your organization with the link. And if you do that, you're not going to be entering people's names in. It's just going to provide you with a hyperlink. And then whoever you give the hyperlink, those are the people that it's going to request the updates from. So then who can review the submissions? That's me. I'm the one that's going to be looking at what people submit. And who can manage this request? That's me. So you can add other people or change people of like who's in charge of receiving the updates. And then you can set a due date. So you can do you don't have to have a due date, but you can say just any time, one time, every weekday, daily, weekly, monthly. So this is where you can decide how often. So I love the fact that it's just going to automatically, I could just say Friday at 12 p.m. and then I can just set it and forget it. And then this thing is automatically going to send my team this pop-up in Teams letting them know it's time to submit their weekly update. So this is a really good way to sort of just automate your life and just one less thing off your plate to think about if you're a manager or if you're a project manager who needs to collect information from people about a project. Now, do you need them to attach something to this form they're filling out? That's up to you. And do you want them to be able to edit these after it's been submitted? So I'll just say, yes, editing's allowed. And then here's your description. You can change the description. This is what they're going to see when it gets sent to them. So it's just a description of what you're requesting from them. And then when you click publish, publishing my request, and it says my request is ready to use. And here's where I did assign it to specific people. And then but I can also copy this link to share if I'd like. So now it's published and I can return to my home page. So now I can see so this is one that I did earlier as a test, a weekly update. And I've got 2 that are on track. One is at risk. And so for each time you publish and you create another one of these updates forms, it's going to have like this new sort of block here on the screen. So this is the block for the one I just created. This is the one that I was testing earlier. And then when you click on it, this is going to take you to that dashboard for that whole set of status updates that you have created. So now everyone that I requested this from has submitted their update. And then it says 2 are on track, 1's at risk. That was that first question we asked them, whether it was on track or at risk. And then it looks like 1 person needs help. So then you can, a few things you can do. You can filter this down. Of course, I've only got 1 reporting period in here. You can change it to a different week since it's going to generate these every week. And then you can even filter it down so that you're only seeing submissions from a certain person. So I've filtered down to Joelle and I can just see hers. So if you have a lot of people there and you want to go find something really quick. So those are a couple of different ways that you can filter what you're looking at. And then I can see that I can toggle between them. So I can see Joelle submitted this, says what she's working on. I can scroll down, it's got Poppy's and it's got mine. Poppy's is the one that was at risk. And do you need any help? No. And then Joelle said, do you need any help? Yes. So that's why it showed up as, 1 yes here. So I can also change this so it's got a couple of different little views where I'm slicing and dicing that, like just kind of the way it looks. So I can change it to a list or like this sort of tiles view like that. Shan said, can updates reuse or do you have to send out a new one weekly? It's recurring. So I set it to be recurring weekly. So it's automatically going to go out every week. Another thing I have here is customize. So look at this. I can customize this see this highlighted section up at the top where it says submission status, overall status. I can customize what that looks like. So I can say overall status, do you need any help? Now, those are the only 2 questions that had like a multiple choice. So they have to be either numbers or single choice questions to be able to use that in the dashboard. And that makes sense that a dashboard wouldn't be able to just have like a text answer. So let's go look at, so if I want to go back to the top, I can always click this home page. So I'm still in updates and I go to home page here. And then, so what it's going to do when you send one is it's going to send a pop-up. So I'll go ahead and log in as this other user so you can see what they receive. Where's my other user? There she is. Go to Teams. And then, so this is Poppy should get, so she's got activity here. So this is the pop-up that she got it says Laura Rogers wants you to submit an update and it's called weekly update. That's what I named it. I just had given it the default name. And then it presents her with this form here just inside of Teams. So she'll just say on track and then just kind of fill it out. No, I don't need help. And I can add an attachment if I want to, but it's optional. I didn't make that required. All right, now it even says submitted next to it. So that's her interface. So her interface is just showing that she had submitted these to weekly updates. Now also, let me move Poppy out of the way here. Also, you have this little list down at the bottom. So what I covered a minute ago was these 2 different weekly updates that I had sent out. But down here, I have submissions received. So I have 3 submissions in total. And I can see submitted. So this is what I submitted. So they actually requested from me to fill out a weekly update. And that's the one that I submitted. And then I can manage the request. So these are the ones that I sent out. So I'll go click on this one. And then I can customize the settings. So if you've sent one of these out and it's going to be recurring, see it says every Friday at 12 p.m. and you need to change that, or you need to change what it says or what it does or any of these settings, this is where you would go do that. And then that would be changing that recurring form and make the changes and click publish. So just an overall recap of this screen. I have the ability to quickly see an example. This is really like a big example section of what's possible that I can get rid of if I want. And then I have the ability to quickly start a new one by collecting updates. Then here I'm going to see immediately needing your update. So this is the one that I just sent out a few minutes ago in this demo. And I put myself as one of the people that needs to submit an update. So it says it's needing my update. And then if you don't see something and you want to just submit a quick update, you can just write one of those little quick ones that I showed you a minute ago. And then here are the ones that I'm reviewing. And then here's the list of all the received, all the submitted. Look, you can export them if you want. There's a little export button. And then this little view down here even has the ability to filter, because this list could get really long when you have a lot of weekly updates that have been done. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do another one. I'll do collect updates so we can kind of see what the difference is when you start getting into like different field types and things like that. And then we'll do one from blank, just from scratch. So this is a finance one. So I like financial. So this would give you a really cool dashboard if you have, updated financial information being presented. So you have financial operations report, an audit report, an investment evaluation report, financial forecast, financial summary. So let's see, what does financial summary look like? What region do you cover? What was the total revenue, total expenditures? Yeah, that's a good one. That seems like that's something in the real world that I've seen done, is have somebody submit their numbers. So I'll go ahead and try that one out. That's the monthly financial summary. And then what region do you cover? So all the questions are fine. I could add my own question if I want to. Let's just say, I'll just leave the questions that it has. Specific people, put Poppy and me again. I don't want to bother Joelle. Actually, I'll put Joelle in here, and we'll just see, because we'll be able to see that that's unsubmitted. So we'll see one of them is yet to be submitted. And then I'm the one managing it, and I can say, so by default, for the recurrence, this one says due every month on day 28 at 5 p.m. So maybe I want to do this every month, or I can just kind of decide what I want that recurrence to be. So I'll just leave that. That's fine, but that interface makes sense. And then, do I need an attachment? Do I need to allow editing? Yeah, sure. Click publish. And then now that one's published. So I can go back to the updates homepage. So now here's where I'm getting notifications about this. So it's actually requesting. Now I have my cell phone do not disturb so I don't get pop-ups, but that's where it's sending me those notifications. So notice, see, these are the 2 that I've created during this demo. And this is the one that says monthly financial summary. So I'll go ahead and submit one of these. I cover the East. Make up some numbers. Nope, it's all good. All right, okay. Submit. And then of course you can do required fields just like you can with Microsoft Forms. So now it's showing me my answer, and then it's showing me, and if I had a bunch that were listed here that needed my updates, those would be on down the left side. And now I've got my monthly financial summary listed down here. And when I click on it, I can see the one, that's the one I submitted. So when I go to manage requests and click on monthly financial summary, that's going to show me the ability, give me the ability to edit that. Okay, so let's go log in as Poppy, and Poppy gets this pop-up. And I'll just say Poppy is the South and put some numbers in there. And it looks like there's something required that I haven't. Oh, no financial concerns. There we go. All right, now Poppy has submitted hers. And submitted, there we go, received. Let me get rid of this old one so I can disable the request. That means I won't be able to use it. So I guess when you're done, it's kind of an archive. You can archive these to kind of move them off. It's not deleting it, it's just disabling it. So now once I got rid of that one, as you get rid of these, so now it's going to show me the monthly financial summary. So it looks like it's only going to show 2 here in this review updates section. So when I'm done with one, I don't need it anymore. I might want to go ahead and disable it so that I get it out of the way, so that all the ones that are active that I'm currently working on will show here. So now my monthly financial summary, it looks like 67% of people have submitted it. Look, if people haven't submitted their report yet, all you have to do is click send reminder. That's so much easier than looking through all your emails at the reports people have sent you, figuring out who's missing, sending them an email. All you do is just click a button. So I could go remind Joelle. And so now here are a couple of things the questions that I asked showing in this dashboard, and I'll customize it. So now you can see that I've got several different choice questions and number questions. So I have a lot more to pick from. So look at the way this dashboard works. So which region do you cover is just going to show me, it was just a multiple choice. And then when I say total revenue, it's got total, average, maximum, and minimum. So this is just a way to fine tune this dashboard to show the numbers that are important to you. So I'll put a total here, and you can only pick 2 though. So it's a cool dashboard, but it's very, very limited. So now I've got submission status. What region do you cover? 1 person from the East and 1 person from the South. And then this is the total revenue of everyone that submitted. So Poppy put 34 and I put 12,000. And so now that's the total. So that's a really cool, really, really easy dashboard. And of course, in Microsoft, when it's really, really easy, it is going to be really, really limited. So you get 2 fields and you get only certain types of fields, but look how lovely that is. So do you all have any questions about this? Do you think you're going to go try it out? Do you see it in Teams? Are you going to tell your team about it now? Tell your boss. This is an easy way. Spread the word. This is an easy way to get those updates. Just gives you a quick little form to fill out. Let's see, what else am I missing? Copy the request link, and I can export this whole thing. So that's a really good feature, because a lot of the times when you have something like this that's just in Teams, you need to do something with that data somewhere else. So that way you can just click export here and just have that as a spreadsheet, and then be able to maybe do something else, incorporate it into something else. So, all right, back to the home page. And again, I can get rid of this big box at the top if I want to. All right, that is a half-hour power hour. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing if you all have any questions, but other than that, it's just, this is a really neat little feature. It's really easy to learn, and it's really easy to implement. You simply, as a manager, you just simply go to this Updates app and you start creating this request form. So the people don't even know They don't have to know anything because they'll just receive the request as a pop-up. If I don't have the updates option in the left column, does that mean Big Brother controls it? Well, you could search for it or choose Get More Apps and see if you see that in your, maybe your admins in your tenant have locked down your tenant and remove that as an app that you could possibly use. That's always a possibility with anything that you have as an app in Teams or even apps in Microsoft 365. So yeah, it is supposed to be, it's just a default Microsoft thing. So yeah, they would have probably had to lock it down, or maybe they did like they're only allowing certain apps in your organization. So by default, it just kind of got left out. But go ask your admins. Maybe they'll let you. Maybe they'll let you use it. All right, great. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Let's see. Go to IW Mentor. If this is your first time watching, if you ever want to come to Power Hour again, we have this schedule button at iwmentor.com, and this shows all of our upcoming Power Hours. I'm also going to be in person at a few different conferences, and those are all listed here. I have a couple more I have to add to this. There's going to be one in Atlanta and something else. So, but yeah, those are all of our courses and free Power Hours listed there. And all of our other courses are on demand, and they're under this, under Compare Plans. So thanks everybody for joining, and let me switch this back over. It was fun having you here. Thanks everybody for joining. And next week I will be in Las Vegas. I'll be at the Microsoft 365 Community Conference, and I'll be a community reporter running around interviewing people. So if you're there, look for me. I wrote on my blog, wonderlaura.com, and on the IW Mentor blog, what my sessions are there. So, and there's this cool app when you're at the conference called Whova, WHOVA, that they get, all the attendees get it. And it is a great way to go find people, find activities, find events, meetings, and things like that are going on at the conference. It's really fun. So last time we had this conference, it was at Disney World, and a bunch of people said, hey, let's all go to Disney World together. And I didn't even know any of them. I just went to Disney World with a group of people from the conference. So it's really fun meeting all these people in tech and networking. So hopefully I'll see you there. And otherwise, I'll see you